Hello and welcome back to the graveyard. My name is Astro. It's been a while. So sorry that I posted 2 mediocre videos and then left for 9, it might get to 10 months. I have no idea when this is going to be posted, but sorry I've been gone for a long time. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to have a regular upload schedule just because the reason I haven't been able to post is because I am disabled. My health issues have been a lot this year, and I haven't had the energy. The one time I did have energy, I tried to film an update video back in May, and it didn't work out. I felt like I wasn't talking very well in it, and I didn't explain things very well. And I've also had a lot of things happen since then, so I'm honestly glad that I've waited until now to really do a proper update video. So yeah, before I get into everything that's happened in my life this year, I do first want to mention the horrific political state of the world right now, especially in America. I wanted to, make it very clear what my stances are. Free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan. Protect your communities, engage in protests and boycotts if you can, donate to people directly who are in need, or donate to organizations that are verifiable, that are actually donating the money to the people in need. And also with that said, there are multiple Palestinian families GoFundMes in my Linktree, which you can find on any of my social media. I don't know if I have a Linktree on my YouTube channel. I'll try to put it in the description though. So please, if you have the means, donate to any of the listed GoFundMes. All of them are in need. With that out of the way, I guess I'll jump into what this year has been like for me, and I'll go month by month of just what has happened in my life. In January, I had the worst period of my life. I am no stranger to bad periods. I have never had an easy period in my life. They've always been extremely painful. I've passed out from the cramps before, been just completely bedridden, unable to move, unable to do anything when I'm on my period. And I ended up taking a dangerous amount of painkillers in January to try to subside the pain, which did not work. So I scheduled a doctor's appointment and they referred me to a gynecologist, and I didn't have that appointment until it was either the end of February or March. But also in January, I got my first denial for disability, because I've been trying to get on disability for over a year now, because I am not able to work. I do technically have a part-time job where I barely work 10 hours a week, and the shifts are getting more and more difficult, even though my responsibilities and the things I do during my shift haven't changed. My health issues have just been worsening, and I can't keep up anymore. So I've been trying to get on disability, got my first denial in January, and submitted my appeal with the help of my case manager. That whole process has been extremely exhausting. In February, I finally got diagnosed with autism, ADHD, and PTSD, right before RFK Jr. decided that he wanted to put all autistic people on a list. So, got my diagnosis just in time for that, which is really cool, really awesome, really fun. Definitely not super paranoid about where the future of this country is going. And then either at the end of February or beginning of March is when I had my gynecology appointment, and they found a 5-centimeter ovarian cyst, which they wanted to keep watch of and make sure that it didn't get to 6 centimeters, even though it did seem benign, they said. They still wanted to make sure it didn't get to 6 centimeters, because if it did, I'd likely need to get it surgically removed. And my gynecologist also talked to me about the possibility that I might have endometriosis. But the only way to really diagnose endometriosis is, I can't remember the specifics, but it was some type of surgical or invasive procedure that they have to do to diagnose endometriosis, and my gynecologist wanted to avoid having to do that if possible. So she put me on a birth control to stop my periods altogether. And oh my gosh, since getting on that birth control and my periods having stopped completely, my life has gotten so much better. Like, I'm still having other health issues, so like I'm not doing that much better, but not having the periods on top of my other health issues has been really helpful. I do not miss periods at all. I don't miss it in the slightest. Do I have endometriosis? Who knows? Who's to say? Is it gonna cause problems in the future? Who knows? Who's to say? That's future me's problem, not right now me's problem. So, whatever. So then in April, I started physical therapy to try to help my chronic joint pain, because I've had a lot of joint issues my entire life that have just kind of gone unchecked. I was on and off crutches throughout most of my childhood from the amount of times I was spraining my ankles. It was bad. Yeah, so they put me in physical therapy and it was kind of helping, but all physical therapy really did for me was help increase the strength of my joints, but the level of pain that I experience has remained exactly the same. So they ended up discharging me from physical therapy in July, but we'll get there when we get there, you know. Gosh, I was doing physical therapy twice a week for those 3 months. I do think it was helpful, but not as helpful as I would have liked it to be. In May, my disability appeal was denied again. So I had to go through a bunch of paperwork with my caseworker and request a hearing, which I still don't have a date for. I'm still waiting to get a date for my hearing. On the SSA website, it said that like it's in step 3 of 5 for the last 2 months now. So I have no idea when my hearing will be. I just hope that it's by the end of the year. But my case manager said that getting a hearing is, you know, really good. It's where you have like the best chance of getting approved. So I really hope that it goes well, because my shifts have been getting increasingly more difficult. I can't do this anymore. Yeah. So that was stressful. And then one of the few good things that has happened to me this year also happened in May, which I started testosterone. Specifically, I do the gel, so put some of the testosterone gel on daily, though it took me a little over a month to start remembering to do it every single day. So even though I technically started in May, I'm more like 2-ish months on T rather than almost 4 months, which is what I'm supposed to be at by now. Which it is August 29th as I'm filming this, and I'm only like 2.5 months, maybe, on T, and I'm supposed to be closer to 4 months by now, but that was my bad. I have a shit memory, so it took me a minute to remember. In June, my caseworker was fired due to budget cuts. So now the rest of my disability process, I'm completely by myself for. I don't know if they're gonna give me a lawyer for the hearing, but if they don't give me one, then I'm just completely by myself for that, which is great, awesome, super cool, super fun. I'm glad at least that I had my caseworker to help me get through the disability process as far as I've gotten, because at this point, I'm pretty much just waiting for the hearing. And like the main thing I needed help with from my caseworker was all of the shitloads of paperwork that I don't really understand myself. So I'm glad I had her for that, but goddamn, why did they have to fire her? That sucked. I miss her. It would be nice to have her help for the rest of this, but I guess it is what it is. My chronic fatigue also started getting really bad in June. I experience chronic fatigue as a symptom, specifically. I don't have chronic fatigue syndrome as that I know of, but I do experience chronic fatigue as a symptom, and it started getting particularly bad around the end of June and has not really improved since. In fact, it worsened in July. It's gotten a little bit better in August so far, but Still not much. Honestly, I'd say that my fatigue is probably at the same level this month that it was in June. July being the worst for my fatigue. It was so bad. I was just in bed all the time. I also turned 22 on June 22nd, which is a birthday I had been anticipating pretty much my entire life, but I've decided to just let go of any expectations I had for this year because I was not expecting the world to like fast track into fascism, you know? So yeah, no expectations, because growing up, I thought this was going to be the best year of my life because it's my golden birthday. I've been waiting to be 22 for so long. Now that I'm here, I'm scared. Yeah. So that is what June was. And then July, like I said, was the worst for my fatigue, but also I was going through my MyChart and found in my medical history a diagnosis of heart valve disease, which I had no clue about. My parents had no clue about. Called my doctor, they referred me to a cardiologist, went to a cardiologist, and they said that it was likely that whoever I saw when I was a child, because I did have to go to a cardiologist a couple times when I was a child because I was born with a heart murmur that they wanted to keep track of. And it was one of those times that the heart valve disease diagnosis was put in my file. But my current cardiologist said that it was likely that they had just put that diagnosis there to get testing approved. However, because of certain symptoms I have that I've had since I was about 10 years old, that have slowly worsened over the last year, they did want to evaluate me for different kinds of heart disease. So far I've had a stress echo done, which is where they do an echo and an ultrasound of your heart while you're laying down, and then have you get up on a treadmill and walk on that for like 10 minutes, and they monitor your blood pressure and everything, and then once your heart rate reaches a like specific amount, for me it was, I believe, it was close to 170. It was in the upper 160s where they were aiming to get my heart rate to while I was on the treadmill. Once it got there, they had me quickly lay down and tried to do an ultrasound again. However, my heart rate dropped very quickly, so they weren't able to see everything that they wanted to. So they're now trying to fight with my insurance to get more testing approved, to get a coronary CT scan to check on my arteries and just get a better view of my heart and such. Because fun fact, I've been experiencing heart attack-like symptoms since I was 10 years old, and in my childhood it really only happened like maybe 3 times a year and wouldn't be too severe. And then when I was like 14 or 15, I was taken to the ER because it was happening for 2 days straight, and they just told me it was a panic attack. Fun fact, it was not. It definitely was not a panic attack. I've had panic attacks before, and my therapist and psychiatrist have both since verified that the chest pain that I experience is not related to anxiety or panic attacks at all. Like I said, the chest pain would only happen like a couple times a year when I was younger, and over the last year it has slowly started happening more and more often, and is now happening a couple times a week. It's not always super severe when it happens. Sometimes it's very mild pain, mild chest discomfort, and then other times it is severe chest pain that I can feel like shooting through my back, and I can feel it down my arm. My arm gets tingly. One of the more recent times it was affecting both my arms for the first time ever. Also could feel it in my neck and in my jaw and in my shoulder. One night, almost a month ago now, where it was probably the most severe chest pain I have ever experienced, and I really thought that I might be having a heart attack. And then I started having a panic attack on top of the chest pain because I was worried that I was having a heart attack. Also, fun fact, one of the symptoms of having a heart attack is a sense of impending doom. How the fuck are you supposed to know if you're having a heart attack or a panic attack when, like, That chest pain, I know it wasn't just a panic attack. I started having a panic attack because of how severe the chest pain was. Yeah, I didn't go to the ER, even though I did think about it, just because last time I went to the ER with this chest pain, they told me it was a panic attack. So, like, I didn't really think that I would be helped. I was just hoping, you know, I'm just gonna wait until I get my stress echo done. Maybe they'll find something there. But didn't find quite what they were looking for, so now they have to get more testing approved, and I just have to continue having heart attack-like symptoms and not know when I should go to the hospital. Yeah, so that's like been a big thing on the forefront of my mind, is just thinking about what the hell is wrong with my heart? What is going on? Can I please get answers? Can my insurance please allow me to get more testing done so that I can find out if I do have heart disease or not? So, got a new primary care doctor and talked about the joint pain, and after talking about all my symptoms and everything, she brought up the possibility of me having Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and wanted to get me genetic testing to find out if I do or don't have that. Also Peep, Edgar, one of my cats sitting in the little basket in the cat tree, he back there. Anyway, but yeah, my new primary care doctor brought up Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, wanted to get me some genetic testing, but the geneticist at their office, who I have never spoken to before, wouldn't approve me getting the genetic testing until they had me get more labs and x-rays done. So I had more labs and x-rays done, and my next appointment with my PCP is a week from now. So we'll see what happens next. I'm glad that I'm finally getting answers for things that I've been struggling with my entire life, that I've been told I'm being dramatic, I'm told it's just anxiety, you're making it up. It wasn't just anxiety, and I wasn't making it up, and now I finally have some answers, and it's nice getting those answers, but I don't have all of the answers. Hoping to get a proper diagnosis for my joints, hoping to get a proper diagnosis for whatever the fuck is going on with my heart, and hoping that it isn't something really severe. Yeah, that's what my life has been like this year, and that's not even everything, because there are some things that I am not going to share publicly, but those things did cause me quite a bit of mental anguish, and just really drained me, on top of all of my health issues and the millions of doctor's appointments and fighting to try to get on disability. It's been a stressful year. I'm doing my best. I would like to upload more. I have no idea when this video is going to be posted. I hope that it's posted sometime in September. That is my hope. If it's past September when this goes up, I am so sorry. Yeah, I don't know how consistent I'll be able to upload YouTube videos. It's easier for me to have energy to just talk about like things that have been going on, like things in my life. Most of my content will probably be more revolving mental and physical health and the struggles that I've gone through my life. I don't know how educational my videos will be. I will do my best to not spread misinformation, but I am not immune to misinformation. I am not immune to propaganda. I could be wrong about some things sometimes. Please do not take my word as 100% confirmation of anything. I don't know shit about shit. I've done some research on the things I've been diagnosed with, or things that my doctors have talked to me about the possibility of me having, but I am not a professional. Like, any of the conditions that I am diagnosed with or that I'm in the process of possibly getting a diagnosis for, I am not 100% knowledgeable on. Just wanted to mention that now. I'll probably mention that in any video that I make about mental or physical health issues. I will always say, hey, please do your own research. Do not take my word as 100% truth, as I could be wrong about some things. That's my life update for you guys, and why it's taken me so long to find the energy to record another video. Thank you so much for sticking around, despite my very infrequent upload schedule. I appreciate anyone who has stayed subscribed, anyone who will subscribe, anyone who likes, or even just anyone who watches in general. Even if you're a hater, thank you for the views. Thank you so much for the views. I guess that's all I really have to say. I'll try to post another video before the end of the year. I really hope that 2 videos a year is not my upload schedule forever, but so far it is kind of looking like that. Sorry about that. But yeah, thank you for sticking around. Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to hit subscribe, that's awesome. And if you want to leave a hate comment, that's cool too. I'll see you guys in the next one, I guess.